Hey Anna, how's it going? Welcome back as always. Let's see what that resub was. Sinalava, thanks so much for the 6-month resub. Welcome back. Most of is going global. Are you gonna try it out? No. That game's not really for me. I don't know too many horse girls, but none of them really. I haven't seen like a horse girl design that really stood out to me. I'm like, yeah, like I really dig that one waifu or whatever. I think the closest I've gotten to maybe having somebody like that from the game was the Scarlet Daiwa girl. She's probably the one I like the most, but besides that, I haven't really found anyone else who's too interesting, at least not at first glance. Regardless, no, I'm not going to be playing that game. But I'm glad it's coming out finally, because I have a couple of IRL friends who've been waiting for that shit for literally years. So if nothing else, I'm happy for them at least. And of course everybody else who's been waiting on fucking Cygames to get their shit together and release an English server finally. What does Genshin even mean again? I don't know, actually. Who knows, really? Has Genshin ever even mentioned their own name in story before? Like, Genshin's one of those games where its own name never even comes up in the story at all, right? Glad it's being published by Cygames directly and not Crunchyroll. Yeah, hopefully they learned their fucking lesson. Don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they've ever mentioned like Genshin by name in the game itself. It's kind of funny to think about. MO Legend, welcome back. While I'm waiting, might as well go do my dailies at the moment. Gonna be a short stream, chat, and by short I mean I'm literally only gonna be streaming for like an hour, I think. Now, Musume's time gap for JP is longer than FGO, which is like 4. I mean, to be fair, Preco back when it was still around, the English server was like fucking 3 years behind JP. So I mean, hell, if you're familiar with how Cygames does things, then shit, man, it's not even that big of a surprise anymore. I guess it begs the question of like what Cygames plans on doing in terms of that whole fucking time gap. But knowing them, they probably won't do anything about it at all. Hey, White Smoke Bay, welcome back, man. How's it going? Heard many people say Panakini's improvement in the story department of Star Rail. I mean, yeah, because they don't know any better. I mean, to be fair, the our last story chapter before Panakini was Shenzhou, and what the fuck even happened in Shenzhou. So I mean, technically, they're not wrong. Cause like, it wasn't that hard to put out a story that was better than Shenzhou, because at the very fucking least, Panakini actually had somewhat of a coherent story, and an interesting one too, rather than whatever the fuck Shenzhou was supposed to be towards the end, fucking space China opera thing. So I mean, yeah, strictly speaking, or I suppose I should say, technically speaking, yeah, those people aren't wrong. It's still really mid, though. Weather in Genshin is real weird sometimes. It's just RNG weather. I mean, you always have a chance of it raining all of a sudden in the more temperate climates anyway. It never rains in the cities though, so you don't have to worry about getting rained on, and if you're in like a major city. Everywhere else though, outside of like specific areas, like well, like maybe deserts or some shit, yeah, it'll have a chance to rain. Hey, Hinamakura, welcome back. Hopefully you're enjoying your week. Did Genshin really need a major patch update for a banner change? I don't think I had to download a patch or anything like that. It should have just changed. Zell3285, thanks so much for the 11-month resub, man. Welcome back. Thanks for the continued support. One more month until your year-long resub, so appreciate it a lot, man. Thanks a bunch. Let's see, where were those last two dishes that I need to cook? There was this one. Okay, that one's done. And the last one was... I think it was also another blue dish somewhere. Ah, this one, yeah. Or do people have problems when it comes to Shenja's storyline? It didn't seem relevant at all. Shenzhou is basically space China, so it's pretty, at least to me, it's very obvious that the Shenzhou story was specifically catered to their home Chinese audience. But because of that, obviously, for the rest of us foreigners who obviously are not very familiar with Chinese culture, for the rest of us, it was like, what the fuck? Even ignoring the whole, like, Chinese culture aspect to it, or that angle of it, like, Shenji's overarching plotline was just like, what are we doing again? Like, it started off okay. It's like, okay, so we had to divert to go investigate some sort of, like, Stellaron claim, or, like, a Stellaron scare, aboard, like, one of the big ships of the Shenzhou fleet. So, okay, we head over there for a quick sec, to try to, like, resolve the issue, or whatever. I think the first half of Shenzhou was fine, I think. If maybe a little slow. But, like, going into the second half of it, it was like, okay, so now what the actual fuck is even going on? Like, Jinglu shows up, and, like, she has her own, like, side story, or, like, a mini arc. And then Daniel shows up. And matter of fact, Daniel even shows up during the first half of the story, because it's like, oh, he wanted to stay back in the Astral Express, but then he decided to head out anyway. And he has his own little, like, side of the story going on when he runs into Luocha and Sushang. And they run around doing something, I forget exactly what. And, fucking Daniel turns into Daniel Alter, blah, 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 and Tingyan dies somewhere along the way because, her neck snaps or something like that. I don't fucking know. It was just, the story was just kind of hard to follow. And at the end of it, it was just like, okay, what the fuck did we even do down there? It's like, what do we do? What do we do? Like, apprehend Kafka, I guess? Is C0 Zigwin fun? I don't know. I haven't rolled her yet. I haven't used her in a trial yet either, so I don't know. So I suppose I guess I would say that was, like, some of the major problems with Shenzhou. It just didn't feel relevant. The boss reveal was too sudden. I mean, I suppose that's not very surprising, considering Star Rail writers seem to have an issue with pacing. Then again, though, I could argue Genshin has that same fucking problem too, because they're both 3D games. I mean, speaking of pacing issues, fucking the overall Fontaine main quest, Archon quest, had that problem in fucking droves. So yeah, suppose that shouldn't be too surprising. Weird, you follow very clear. I mean, then hey, take it upon yourself, Rex, to explain to the rest of us what the fuck even happened in Shenzhou and why it's important. Cause I couldn't tell you. I will say though, to be fair, I think I clocked out of paying attention to Shenzhou's story like sometime into the second half of the story, when I realized that when I came to the realization that, like, yeah, I don't really care about the story anymore. So, like, I stopped bothering. I stopped bothering to try to care about it. And I was just like, yeah, whatever, fuck this shit. So I recognize that I'm probably being unfair to Shenzhou's story. But, if you'd like to enlighten me on what Shenzhou's story was meant to be, or what it was meant to accomplish, then sure. I'd love to hear it. Because at least that way, maybe if I change my mind about Shinjo's story, maybe I can explain to other people why it's actually not so bad. But, you know, until something like that, until somebody comes along and convinces me, yeah. Can't wait to go back to space, China. Yeah, I know, right? It's gonna be great. Can't decide if you want to go for FarinaCons or Zigwind. So far, I haven't heard anybody really talk about Zigwind in like a positive way. Like, just going off Twitter vibes. Nobody seems to give a shit about her at all. And to be honest with you, like, I don't really know what Zigwind's supposed to do in the first place, because she's supposed to be a 5-star Hydro healer, right? Well, guess what? We already have someone like that in the game. At the beginning of the story, we asked Astro Express asked if they needed help with the Stellaron. They said, "No, we don't need your help." And you were like, "Bro." So all right, peace. Peace out, bitches. Imagine if Blade was invited back to Space China to spectate the war games. Little good old family reunion. You're a new sub over on YouTube. Hey, welcome to this channel, Cameron. Thanks for hanging out. I'm not gonna be streaming for too long today. These days, because ever since I got my full-time job a couple months ago, I don't stream too much these days. Usually mainly on weekends nowadays. But appreciate you were able to stop by. To be fair, when has Genshin's fanbase ever cared about anybody who wasn't a DPS? They care about Kokomi now. Make no mistake, Genshin players did not give a shit about Kokomi when she first came out. I was like one of the very few people that you could probably count with one hand in the entire world probably who even gave a shit about her. Mainly because she has long pink hair and she's fucking cute. So I C6'd her day one. How many other people can you say did that, huh? But now they care, especially now that we have, you know, Dendro in the game. Now they care. Because Genshin players don't care about meta. They don't care about DPSs per se. They care about meta. So, if you fucking shove a meta shift down their fucking throat, they will listen, eventually. Oh, what's that? Kokomi's the best fucking Hyper Bloom support in the game now? Or Hyper Bloom slash Super Bloom support in the game now? Well, shit. All of a sudden, people start acting as if they cared about her all along. Fuck Genshin players sometimes. C6 Kokomi, yeah. C6 or day fucking one. Because unlike the rest of the unlike like 95% of Hoyoverse players, I'm a loyal bitch. Rest of these Hoyoverse player motherfuckers, they don't know what the fuck the word loyal means. All they know is fucking meta. Or what they think is meta. Whatever warped version of meta exists in the Hoyoverse communities these days. And except for content creators who are promoting Kokomi by sponsors at the time. Yeah. But you know, sponsors don't really count, right? Special Farina healer, technically? Yeah, but if you ever use Farina as a healer, you're using her wrong. So no, she doesn't count. Oops. Shenjo's story is the absolute demonstration of everything bad with Hoyo's writing. It had potential, but at the execution, was so bad. Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Shitty fucking execution, horrible fucking pacing. The only reason why Panakini's story is better, technically, is because its premise was a lot more interesting. Oh, and Firefly exists, so yeah. She's like half the reason why Panakini's story is better than Shenjo, if only barely. Imagine caring about meta in a game that doesn't have endgame content. Unfortunately, that's the majority of people who play Hoyoverse games. Or just, honestly, that's just the majority of people who play games in general, man. Like, to be fair, you can't ever escape meta talk. Because eventually, when people play a game for long enough, people will eventually want to know what is the best shit you can do. That's just human nature. Because your average player doesn't want to feel like they're wasting their time doing something that's like suboptimal, or, you know, using characters who aren't considered the best. But then again, such people have fragile egos and can't accept doing anything else that's not that. So, you know, that kind of checks out, but... Yeah, Kokumi. So I owe you an apology, Kokumi. I wasn't really familiar with your game. To be fair, though, like, people obviously people didn't anticipate Dendro cranking her ass all the way up to top tier. But, like, more to the point, the point that I was trying to make is that Genshin players care about meta. So, like, all you need for a character to become meta is just like the right shift in gameplay. And all of a sudden, oh man, people will start caring about those characters again. Now, of course, there's some exceptions like fucking Dehya. I don't know if Dehya will ever be redeemed again. It will ever be redeemed in like the eye of the general Genshin player base, but. Can I take a look at your clearances? I'm playing Genshin. Sure, Naruto. Drop me your UID. It's easier than me asking you to share your clearance crit stats, because actually I have Genshin up today. That one Hu Tao thread guy seemed pretty loyal to me. Yeah, but you're always going to have exceptions. Speaking as an exception, yeah. Of course you have weirdos like him and me. But, you know, that's not most players, so. You don't like Emil's design, but it seems like she's going to be pretty meta. Oh, have the leaks been saying she's going to be pretty good? I mean, she's Dendro, so. 5-star Dendro character. How can a 5-star Dendro character not be good? I mean, hell, that's Traveler's best element, and she's legit fucking high tier. If Dendro can even make Traveler pretty fucking high tier, then shit, man. Dendro can do anything. I'm actually not too sure how good Kave is considered, though. Windows 10 will be ending support in October next year. So I'm not really surprised. Windows 10 has been out for a while now, hasn't it? Like, they've been pushing Windows 11 for like a couple of years now at this point, no? At least for the past year or two, so yeah. I'm not particularly surprised. And not only that, this is Microsoft we're talking about, so yeah. When it comes to supporting older OSs, Microsoft can go fuck themselves. What do you think the upcoming Nikkei collab is going to be? Oh, did they announce that we were going to have another collab? I have no idea. I actually didn't know Nikkei was planning on having another collab again. I mean, if possible, I'd like to see them do a collab rerun. You know, because people at this point, people are playing now, and they've already missed out on what, Chainsaw Man and whatever our other collab was. Whatever our first 2 collabs were. Chainsaw Man and... Actually, we've had 3 collabs so far, right? Chainsaw Man was our first one. I thought it was our second one for some reason. And the second one was Nier. So yeah, and our third one was fucking ReZero. So honestly, I would prefer seeing... Thanks, Naruto. I would honestly prefer seeing a collab rerun for, like, obviously Chainsaw Man first. But I mean, if we gotta get a 4th collab, then I suppose that's fine too. They announced the roadmap. Collab's happening in August. Okay, cool. It's in about a little over a month. Not too far away. First off, Naruto, get your clone to level 90, but I assume you're already working on that. Kave's still missing. Oof. You do care about meta if you want to get new characters. Here's the thing. Caring about meta in and of itself is not a crime, right? I get it. I also play off meta, or I also follow meta for some of the gacha games that I play, especially the ones that I don't, like, fucking wail my ass off for, right? And again, like Genshin, it's easy for me to, you know, prattle on about how, oh, you know, or meta followers are fucking ass. And they're a bunch of fucking virgins, which is rich coming from someone like me. But in a vacuum, if you want to play any game, not just a gacha, any game based off its meta, that's fine, right? That's understandable. Again, I said it myself earlier, but it's just human nature, right? You wanna, it feels nice knowing that you're playing with the best shit that you can. It's when people overly fucking focus on that shit to the point where they go online and fucking, you know, that's literally all they talk about, right? It's all they fucking talk about, and it gets to the point where they actively dissuade people from not rolling for characters that they otherwise would have rolled for because they like their character designs. Because gacha games, at the end of the day, you're supposed to play them because you like the characters, not because you're trying to fucking, you know, top tier your fucking dick. You know, top tier your fucking dick off, right? Especially for a game like Genshin, where there's not really much of a reason to fucking top tier that shit as soon as you have 2 teams ready for Abyss. Like fucking like work until you have Raiden National, another like pretty good generalist team, and that's and, you know, that's your bread and butter right there. What the fuck do you have to worry about meta anymore for? Like, that's the problem that I have. Like, if people were smart enough, were intelligent enough to, you know, they had enough fucking brain cells to realize that, you know, oh, I want to play meta, but that's because I enjoy playing what's meta. That's fine, because at that point, it's just a personal preference. People, you know, fucking bitches out here acting like meta's the only way you got it, the only way that you should play these kinds of games. Or even if they're not saying that shit directly, that's kind of what their vibe is. Because that's literally all they fucking talk about. It's like, bro, if you care about meta that much, you're playing the wrong fucking genre, my dude. Fucking quit Genshin and go play fucking League of Legends or something. I'm not really doing account reviews today. I'm only looking at Naruto's because Naruto asked last time. He always comes back and asks me this shit, so I give him a special exception. Maybe if I have time afterwards, I'll take a look at your account as well. But then if I do that, then that's just gonna start a whole fucking chain reaction. People being like, "Oh, can you look at my account too?" Also, VC and Emperor Crimson, thanks so much for the resubs, man. Or get dudes, I should say. VC for 8 months and Emperor Crimson for 40 months. Greatly appreciate both of you. Or like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, at least with Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to play against another player, so yeah, at that point, meta actually matters. Is Miko still good today in Genshin? In my opinion, yes. In my opinion, the best team that you can use against single target enemies in Genshin, single target bosses in Genshin is... Oh, I guess I'll reassign this team. Is this team right here. This team. This is the aggravate slash... No, actually, no. This will be more of the spread team. And it's sometimes an aggravate team if you bust out Miko's ultimate. But this team is probably one of the best teams. In my opinion, it should be one of the best teams for absolutely murdering single target bosses. Because Tignari and Miko are both best used against solo enemies. Solo or like low enemy count abyss floors. Because, you know, we all know how good spread is. Also, you know, aggravate as well for obvious reasons. Nahid is there again for obvious reasons, and Cookie is your healer slash aggravate slash spread support as well. So I would argue Miko is still extremely powerful. Yes. You ready for Annie and FGA? I was born ready, my dude. Been waiting fucking 2 years for Archetype Earth to finally show up on NA. So yes, I would say Miko is still very strong. Yeah, she's mainly used for aggravate slash spread teams. So you can replace Tignari with another Dendro DPS like Alhaitham, for example. Personally, though, if you're going to use Alhaitham, I would prefer running him with, who is it, Raiden, personally. Then again, you can run this team with Raiden, too. You can replace Miko with Raiden, to be honest. Then again, you can replace any fucking electro, like, damage support with Raiden, to be fair. Saving quick temporarily. Yeah, before people realize she also supports Buster too, so you know. Who's in the summer FGO waiting room? Me, but you know, a lot of us are. People are probably going to roll for at least one summer servant out of the 3. No problems. Yeah, sorry about that, Sorrow. But yeah, maybe after I'm done wasting money for Zigwind, maybe I'll give your account a look. Did you critique your chlorine? Well, considering that you just outed you just self-reported, and you've told me literally to my face that you haven't been paying attention, maybe I shouldn't take a look at your chlorine anymore. What the fuck are you doing, Naruto? You ask me to look at your chlorine, and you fucking leave the stream, and you come back and ask me if I've critiqued your chlorine yet? Fuck have you been doing, my dude? Surprised you still don't have Tignari. I mean, it depends on how much you roll. If you don't roll a whole lot, then yeah, it's kind of hard to get like a particular Genshin perma 5-star. Naruto R is always a regular here. He's a Genshin regular. To the point where he comes into my stream even if I'm playing other games and asks me to take a look at his Genshin characters. That's literally all he does. What sword do I like for Cookie? Her best in slot. Key. Because it's HP main stat. Fat HP stat stick, basically. I think it should be your best in slot. Maybe it's not. Maybe something else is, but I literally rolled 3 copies of Key for Cookie, Layla, and Nilo. All of them have their own copies of Key. But do you feel like Naruto's a middle schooler? Funnily enough, he's not. He's actually in college, because he told us. So he's not a middle schooler, but, you know, Sometimes I can't help but think that he acts like one. You just need a 30% of scanner battery buff and you'll be happy? Yeah, man. Like, seriously, anything for our dude. For good old, Alexander. For good old Alex. You didn't leave the stream, you were doing something else? Okay, so why are you doing something else when you ask a streamer to take a look at your account? He says yes, right? And then you just do something else? And again, this is not the first time you've done this, Naruto. You've done this like at least a couple times before, where you come into my stream, ask me to look at your fucking character, and then I say yes. I pull up your character. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I analyze your characters or whatever, and I'm like, all right, you get all that, and you're just like, oh, can you say that again? I wasn't paying attention. You had your headphones on. You could hear me. You weren't paying attention. So how the fuck does that make sense? You are aware that if you're not paying attention, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're hearing, right? I mean, you literally have to ask me if I went over your fucking account or not. So, if you're not paying attention, what the fuck is the point of you even hearing me? I don't know if anybody's told you this, but there's a very clear difference between hearing someone and actually fucking listening to someone. I don't know if they taught you that in school. If they didn't, then your school's fucking failed you. Is this an attention? No, he's just like this. He could go back a few minutes. Well, I think he only watches on Twitch. I don't know if he watches on YouTube. Also, sometimes the YouTube rewind feature is kind of finicky. Sometimes on the YouTube streams that I watch, like, I can't even use the rewind feature at all, which is kind of strange. Maybe I just don't know YouTube very well. I've never really had to use the rewind feature on Twitch, on YouTube anyways, so maybe I just don't know. YouTube has VODs? Yeah, but after you're done streaming. But no, even when a YouTube stream is live, there should be a way for you to, like, rewind the stream. I just don't know how to do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. It's still a stupid thing he's doing. Like, I don't want to assume, because obviously that's rude, but I think he's kind of I think he might have the tism. I mean, we're all gacha game players here. I mean, we all have the tism to some degree, but he might be a little bit tistic, you know. I don't know if he's ever mentioned it himself. Saying that as wild to whom? I mean, you know what else is wild? Coming into someone else's stream, asking the streamer to look at your account, and then a few minutes later, feel the need to fucking ask the streamer, "Did you go over my account yet?" When they were going to. Like, if you're not tistic, then clearly you're not patient. But then again, you're young, so I wouldn't expect you to have patience either, but you know, in the first place, but you know. Oh, the streamer can disable that feature if you're not mistaken. Well, I don't disable that, or I don't ever remember going to my YouTube settings and, like, disabling, like, live rewinds or whatever. didn't even know you could disable it in the first place. Well, since I have your attention now, and hopefully you're not, you know, not paying attention now, let's quickly go over your Chlorine then. First of all, get her ass to level 90. Why the fuck is she only at level 80? 81, 147, 124. Do you have her weapon? I assume the answer is no. Why the fuck does she have this sword? Oh yeah, this is the sword that you keep fucking asking me. Oh, can I use so and so character with this sword? Oh yeah, that's right. It's this fucking thing. Does this shit even work on her? With a bonus, that's fine. When other party members use skills, gains wave spike, max 2 stacks. When a character using this weapon uses a skill, all wave spikes consumed to gain this whatever this shit is. Normal attack damage. I don't think this works. This second the rest of this shit other than the elemental damage bonus doesn't make sense. Cause I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I had to exit your account to look at this, but I'm pretty sure. Chat, verify this for me. I'm actually not sure. But when Chlorine enters her skill state, or when she pops her skill, her pistol shots are not normal attacks, are they? When she does damage with her akimbo pistols, they're considered skill damage, is it not? Her lunge is definitely skill damage, because you literally have to press your skill in order to use it. But I want to say her pistol shots are tagged as skill damage. No, I don't think they're considered normal damage, right? Like, her normal damage would literally just be her sword normals, like this. Like, these are her normals. But then when she pops her shit, that's the wrong button. When she pops her skill and starts blasting, like, this is not normal damage, right? This is just skill damage? Chlorine's charge attack is so fucking cool, but you never fucking use it. Actually, does she even have a charge attack when she's... No, she doesn't. You just hold down. I guess you don't have to individually click for her to start shooting. Check skill damage scaling. Yeah. They're treated that you use them like normals, but they scale off skill damage. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Surging Blade is Chlorine's the sword lunge thrust attack. And I assume the Impale the Knight shit. Or maybe the Swift Hunt. Is it the Swift Hunt stuff? Talent info. Let's see. Yeah, Swift Hunt. Yeah. So it counts under her skill damage. Yeah, then that means that Haran doesn't work on her, or it doesn't make too much sense. Like, obviously she can use the elemental skill damage, sure, or the skill elemental damage bonus, sure. But the entire rest of this shit, or this entire shit. It basically says, oh yeah, when her allies use their skills, Chlorine's own normal attack damage increases by 20% for 8 seconds. No, this shit is useless. So no, Naruto, you're gonna have to keep looking for somebody else who can use Haran better. Otherwise, this is just gonna be a stat stick for her. I mean, it's not a bad stat stick. It's still crit rate main stat, and it still gives her a little bit of elemental damage bonus. That's not bad. I'm actually curious, now that I think about it. Let me pull up the Genshin spreadsheet, actually. I'm actually kind of curious as to how well Haran ranks against, like, say, for example, whatever her free-to-play craftable sword is from Fontaine, the 4-star one. Because that should work perfectly with her, I'm pretty sure, anyway. Then again, she doesn't scale that well off Bond of Life mechanics, so maybe not. Where's Chlorine? Oh yeah, she's Electro, not Hydro. Let's see, Absolution. Huh, that's surprising. Haran is actually ranked number 2, just below Absolution and Foliar Incision. Huh, maybe it's actually, I guess it's not that bad after all. Probably because she doesn't have a lot of other good 5-star options anyway. So actually, no, unironically, you can use that on her. I stand corrected. You can use Haran on her. That's fine. Banner, yeah, Zigwin's banner is up now. I'm just wasting time fucking looking at somebody else's kit right now. In terms of drip, you prefer Mistsplitter? Yeah, Mistsplitter obviously looks better, or it's thematically more appropriate. Aesthetically more appropriate, but I mean, technically, according to the spreadsheet I'm looking at right now, Mistsplitter, or not Mistsplitter. Haran is technically a better sword than Mistsplitter, which is hilarious. Probably because of the crit rate main stat. Because I don't know, does Mistsplitter even do anything for her? What did Mistsplitter even fucking do? 12% elemental, elemental bonus, normal attacks, energy. Technically, Mistsplitter's passive is better. Like, it's more relevant because, who is it? Chlorine can actually use, like, she can get, like, 2 stacks of it. So, technically speaking, she can give herself up to a 28% elemental damage bonus. If you combine these two. She can't get all 3 emblem stacks, because one of them involves her using normals, and that's not really going to happen. But she can at least use, her burst, and then whenever her energy is less than 100%, so... But I assume that the spreadsheet ranks Haran higher just because it's crit rate main stat. Yeah, Seru. Yeah, turns out Haran is actually one of her 2 second best weapon options, along with the Light of Foliar Incision. I'm surprised. Actually no. I know why. It's because Foliar Incision is not. It doesn't have a very high base attack stat. Yeah, because it's what, like, crit damage is like 80% crit damage. Yeah, it's got a really low base attack. So unfortunately, because Chlorine scales off attack, this sword doesn't give her a whole lot of base attacks. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Because otherwise, if it had, like, even if it had, like, medium, like, mid-tier base attack, like 608, the passive should be really good on her, no? Because, I mean, like, you're going to be using Chlorine in, like, aggravate and spread teams anyway, mainly aggravate teams anyway. So. Heyo, Hayes, welcome back, man. How you doing? I'm doing alright. I'm hanging in there. Life's rough. Well, not life, but work is rough. I suppose life is kind of rough too, but I'm surviving for now. What other 4-star would be good? Well, if you had to go for a 4-star, the not Absolution. Do I have it? I think I should have a copy of it. Finale of the Deep? Yeah, this one. This is basically meant for her. But you don't need this because Haran is actually her second best weapon, so she can actually use it. It's a good thing you rolled Chlorine now, huh? You usually use Haran on Ayato. To be fair, if you only have 1 copy of Haran, I don't know how many. I don't know how much you'll be using Ayato these days. Because you already have Farina. You should already have Yelan. So it's like, why the fuck do you even need to use Ayato anymore? So yeah, honestly, keep Ayato's sword, the Haran sword, on Chlorine. Because unlike Ayato, you can actually Chlorine should be damage competitive with Genshin's current meta. I just don't I don't know how useful Ayato is anymore these days. Like, he's still okay, but like in an era where we now have Farina and Novelette, like, Jesus, man. Chlorine skill says it's considered normal attack damage? Then why does it have this scaling? Swift Hunt, when her bond of life, blah blah blah. Impaled Knight. No, Impaled Knight is her sword lunge. Where does it say that her pistol shots are considered normal attack? Or are considered normal attacks? Oh, excuse me. You mean here? In this state, Clorin's normal attacks will be transformed into Pistol Hunt, Swift Hunt, Pistolet attacks? Yeah, but it says being transformed. So, like, you could infer that they no longer are normal attacks, is the thing. And not to mention, if you look at her normal attack scaling, if they really are normal attacks, then shouldn't the game also give you, like, separate scaling for when she switches to her pistols? Because, like, I doubt that these are the same. Yeah, this can't be the scaling for her pistol shots. Because it specifically says 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, 5. They're referring to her sword normals, not her pistols. Like, I don't think her skill shots are considered normal attacks. And the paragraph. These are elements of skill will transfer into Impale the Knight. That's a sword lunge. Perform a lunge check. The damage done through aforementioned method is considered normal attack damage? Through the aforementioned method. I assume it has to refer to her pistol, because that'd be really weird if her sword lunge was considered normal attack damage. But it's also super weird to think that her pistol shots are also considered normals. Like, what? Why are they considered normals? Even weirder is, again, her normal scaling sheet here doesn't refer to her pistol shots at all, because it's not like her pistols have a combo to them. I mean, technically, I guess they do. Like a 3-shot combo, I think. But there's no scaling here either. Technically, I guess all their shots are the same scaling, so what does it matter? Yeah, why did they list Swift Hunt scaling under skill attributes and not normal attributes? Why is it here? Why is it not here? This guy, hey, you can go fuck yourself, because there's plenty of DPS characters here in this game whose damage converts to pure skill damage when they use their skill. Don't blame me for Genshin not making this shit clear, because they insist on using all this fucking flowery bullshit language. Thank God Star Rail doesn't really do that. I mean, Star Rail isn't even perfect either, but they at least make things a lot clearer when it comes to what characters can do. So you can go fuck yourself. Did you win the Zigwin 50-50? Not yet. We're about to find out if I lose it or not. I probably will. Hey, Sababa, welcome back. Hopefully everything's been going well so far today. Yeah. Work was alright. It wasn't annoying. He was getting chewed out. No, some dude in my Twitch chat. Because my Twitch chat was trying to tell me, oh no, Clorin's pistol shots are actually considered normal damage when I was missing it at the end of the paragraph down here where my cursor is. But then for some reason, True Nexus in my Twitch chat felt the need to say, this guy. Bro, fucking excuse me, bitch. Like, you can point out that I'm wrong. But you know, If you wanna act like a bitch while doing it, then sure. Two can play that game. Yeah, have a month before you start work, total of 3 months unemployment, and enjoying every minute of it. I think you might have been in my stream before, and you might have mentioned that because I remember reading a comment before in like a previous stream a couple months ago, something like that. Maybe you're the same guy. Are we able to efficiently spend your unemployment life? I mean, technically speaking, I was unemployed for a full year, a year and 2 months. During that time, I tried making like a whole content creation thing work. Unfortunately, it didn't. And I ran out of my savings, so now I'm stuck with a fat load of credit card debt, and fucking, you know, having to deal with mortgage shit because I'm a homeowner. Fuck that shit. I should have never bought this house. So I mean, I wouldn't say I spent my unemployed life efficiently at all. So, you know, fuck me, I guess. Basically, all I did was play gacha games, stream, make YouTube videos that didn't really go anywhere except for like a couple of them. Holy Madge. Oh, I feel sorry for you. If you think this is me being mad, but okay, you know. I'll let you think that this is me being mad. But yeah, man, hopefully you enjoy the last bit of your freedom before you have to go back to being a wage slave just like me. Well, at least I hope your job is better than mine, at least. Is new character good at all? I don't know, man. Probably not. I'm still gonna roll for her anyway. But the answer is probably no. Not right now, anyway. I don't know. Maybe she might get a Kokomi treatment later on down the line with something, but... Not really sure at the moment. Would you let somebody rent part of my house? I have considered getting like a roommate. However, I do value my solo freedom a little bit too much. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, chat, but I fucking hate people. Like, I learned that I don't like living with other people back in college. Like, my freshman year was when, was what really fucking drove that home for me. Because, like, even back then I was doing, like, content creation stuff. And then, like, my whole content creation stuff that I was doing back as a freshman in college, like, that bothered my roommate. And so, and that got us, you know, we were never really on good terms, partly because of that. I mean, he was a hard introvert like me too. So I don't blame him, but like given the shit that I typically do, like, you know, content creation, streaming, and just me as a person, like, I really don't want to have to fucking room with somebody. Like, I would have considered rooming with somebody if I had bought a bigger house, but my house isn't that big. So like, Zigwan's a bow user? Yeah. It's not as if we don't have enough 5-star bow users in the game. Actually, technically, I think we only have one other one. Who is it? Yelan? Anyways, let's go fucking waste money. Oh yeah, Tartaglia, yeah, he's technically a bow user. Kind of funny to think about, but... Hey look! Another copy of gaming! That's fucking funny. Yeah, exactly. And my upstairs neighbor is fucking bitch enough as it is. I think what I want to do now, instead of getting a roommate, is just to move out of this place and then just rent this place out to a tenant, and I go move somewhere else. Like I think I would prefer doing something like that. And in so doing, I can maybe look for a place that's like close to my workplace, so that way I don't have to deal with a fucking hour-long commute back and forth, both ways. That'd be nice. The problem is that I don't have the fucking money. So yeah, that fucking blows. What also blows is the fact that I'm gonna have to blow some fucking Benjamins on this shit. I do have quite a bit of star glitter at least. We can do 20. Tignari crying in a ditch? I mean, your ears should be crying too, because I specifically said Hydro Archer, not fucking Dendro. The fuck do you get Tignari from? Always amazes you like how expensive Genshin banner rolls are. Yeah, they charge you 100 fucking bucks every 5 multis. That's fucking 20 bucks per multi, man. Should you roll for C1 Farina if you want to? My Farina is C0, and I think she's perfectly fine. Then again, my account is fucking stacked as fuck, so me not getting constellations on other characters doesn't really impact me too much. But if you don't have, if your account doesn't look something like mine, doesn't look as fucking, you know, whale as mine, then maybe C1 Farina is worth taking. I forget what her C1 does. I know it's probably pretty good. I mean, it has to be. It's fucking Farina. Why wouldn't it be? So I would say regardless, if you find yourself using Farina a lot, if she's one of your go-to 5 stars, then yeah, sure. If you don't want to bother with Zigwin, then sure, you can waste your rolls on Farina instead. No harm in doing that. Oh, another copy of gaming. Holy fucking shit. You have a VPN, you just switch from EU to JP, not sure if it's legal. It's definitely not legal, so I don't know how if you should be saying that out loud. I don't think that's legal. Matter of fact, there was this one dude, if you guys know him, you know. But there was this one dude in one of the gacha game communities that I'm a part of, a while back, where he got in some shit, for basically paying for rolls at a discounted rate because he was switching regions. So basically paying in yen instead of what he should have been paying for. Actually, no, not in yen. What did he do? He fucking switched over to like what, some dealer in the fucking Philippines or some shit. I don't know. I forget the whole story. But yeah, if you're switching regions, if you're VPNing to a region where the exchange rate is in your favor, just so you don't have to pay as much, I don't know how legal that is. If at best that's probably a legal gray area. So yeah, maybe keep that to yourself. FBI, open up! Yeah, just make sure your Genshin UID doesn't like leak out at some point. Alright, that should be all of my shit, so yeah, let's go burn some motherfucking Benjamins now, shall we? I really should not be doing this, but you know. It's content. Fucking content. Can't wait to see the fucking $300 that I'm gonna spend on this shit. 3 or 4. God, now that I think about it, I could be spending up to like 500 fucking bucks just for a single copy of Zigwind and her weapon. Now that I think about it, God, that does not sound good at fucking all. Hilariously enough, it's not like I even spent all that much this month either. Compared to not compared to some other months. Try getting a tax write-off. I mean, if they, I'm under the impression that you can only really do that if you can prove that you can actually make a living off that shit. I've never made enough money off of content creation to say that, oh yeah, this is what supports me full-time or whatever. So, like, I don't know how much I can get away with writing all this shit off as writing all this shit off as tax write-offs. I'm not sure if that really applies to somebody like me. I assume the answer is no, but then again, I shouldn't really assume these sorts of things. Because maybe you never know, but... that might be a little bit early. We'll see if this is Zigwind, though. Yeah, only if it's their registered revenue stream, like their main fucking income stream. Okay, we want the 50-50 on that. That's good. It's worth trying, maybe, but I don't feel like giving that like a serious try until like it becomes like an actual like reasonable income stream for me. So yeah, I don't even wanna bother trying until like I can make something work with my YouTube channel / Twitch channel. So maybe later, but for now, I'm not gonna worry about that. I got bigger problems to worry about at the moment. How's Woo doing? Don't know much about the community. Did the hype die yet? No. Surprisingly, the game's still going strong. Because it has been a solid month now, and I would have expected people to kind of like, slowly grow out of their honeymoon phases, but it seems like much of their core audience is still going strong. Like, people are looking forward to 1.1. We got two waifus coming up. Changli and Jinshi that people are looking forward to, so yeah. We're still powering on. It's done well enough. I wish it could have done better, but it's made it. So people are still enjoying it. Yeah, it's weapon time now. All right, time for the real test. Yeah, exactly, since I work another job, or I work a main job, so they're gonna look at it and be like, huh, well, this isn't exactly, your main job. Maybe as a side hustle, but... Yeah, I got a Melusine, yes, the inferior Melusine. I come from the game where we have the superior Melusine. And yes, this guy rules, I did hear about Uma Musume. Like, thank fucking finally. Cygames got off their fucking lazy Japanese asses. They finally put out a goddamn fucking English server after God knows how many fucking years. Horse Girls is such a strange concept. What, you mean the characters or like the actual gameplay? Because like characters, that's fine. Like fucking anybody can make a gacha game that turns anything into gacha waifu or into anime waifus. If you're talking about the gameplay, then yes, because I don't understand the gameplay of Uma Musume at all. Cause like what like half of that shit is like you watch fucking horse races, and the other half is you just watch cute horse girls do cute idol shit or something like that. I don't know. But like if you're talking about the characters, like why Uma Musume even exists, and you're not really talking about the gameplay, no, that's perfectly understandable. Cause horse racing and shit, and the Japanese are gonna turn anything they get their hands on into cute anime girls. What's not to like? You have a shitty PC and phone. Oof. Hopefully you get something that a device that you can properly play WoW on. Then you think there's gonna be another Genshin killer? No. No one individual gacha game will ever turn out to be the Genshin killer. NetEase trying to make their own Genshin called Project Mugen. Oh, is not Genshin? Is it Project Mugen under NetEase? I didn't know. Probably should have. Like, it's not like that's exactly new information, or at least it shouldn't be. I wonder how many we'll see in the future. I was under the impression that we would see like a whole bunch of Genshin clones just kind of like start crawling out of the woodworks after like a couple years. But given that we've only really seen like, what are like the true Genshin clones? Wu was the first one that's come out. I guess technically Staria, but I wouldn't count that because it's literally the same company. So Wu, Arknight's Enfield, Project Mugen, Azure Parmelia, those like the 4, I guess. I kind of expected to see like more more announcements of like more Genshin clones coming out of the woodwork, especially these days. Maybe they're in development and we just don't know about them yet. Maybe they'll be announced. Maybe we'll have some more Genshin clones announced later this year or whatever. Maybe I'm just speaking too early, but. Yeah, I guess we're not going to be seeing too many. And I guess in hindsight, it's understandable because if you wanna properly compete with Genshin, right? If you want to truly live up to the phrase or to live up to the title of Genshin clone, then bro, you better have the fucking money to invest into your game to make it at least seem good, right? Fucking MiHoYo sunk 100 mil into Genshin. I don't know how much Kuro Games sunk into developing WoW. It's probably not as much, but it's sure as hell a lot, right? So like, motherfucker, you better have some cash if you wanna like come out with a Genshin clone that's actually worth shit, worth fucking playing. And so like that initial upfront cost might be what like really dissuades a lot of potential studios from like trying to like cash in on the whole Genshin clone market themselves, and why we haven't really seen all that many in the years following Genshin's release. But anyways, long ass tangent. Back to the original Genshin killer thing. No. The problem is that it's not even a problem. You're not going to see any one game become the Genshin killer. What's going to kill Genshin is just a combination of things. One, MiHoYo neglecting the game and not really doing much to improve it in a way that players would find that reasonable, or like players would like, right? And come back to start playing Genshin again for. But also it relies on other Genshin clones coming out of the woodwork too. And being successful too, because every Genshin clone that is successful means that there's that means that there are less players playing Genshin, because most people can only play one game at a time, unless you're an idiot like me. So those two things, and the last thing, the third element of like the whole Genshin killer situation is you need time. Because Genshin has so heavily entrenched itself into the whole, gacha market, if you even want to call it that it's not going to go away anytime soon. Even if you were to get like a true, like the best Genshin competitor we're ever going to see, right? Even if Wuthering Waves was like literally the perfect game, where it's basically Genshin but better in every fucking aspect, which it's not. But assuming that were the case. Even then, it would take Genshin years to like fully die off. Like, there's a good reason why I call Genshin the World of Warcraft of gacha games. People are always gonna say, "Oh, this next game is gonna be the one that kills Genshin Impact." You know, and yet here we are. Same thing with fucking World of Warcraft and the MMO scene. Oh, this new MMO is gonna be what kills World of Warcraft finally. Oh, really now? The year's 2024, and what's still one of the most popular MMOs still in existence? Oh, what's that? World of Warcraft? Oh, so much for killing World of Warcraft, then. No, it has to be a combination of factors. It cannot be. Genshin is too big for just one single reason to fucking kill its ass. Has to be a whole fucking, you know, a whole fucking plate of reasons why. Can't be just one thing. Yeah, the best that Genshin clones can hope to be is to compete with them. And hey, Wuthering Waves is proving that right now. They can certainly compete, even if they're not as good as, you know, even if like in terms of overall quality, it's not as good as Genshin Impact, or even if Kuro Game hasn't invested as much cash into Wuwa's development, it's still good enough, and that's, you know, good enough is good enough for most people. It's a shame nothing can compete at its level. No, not yet anyway. Like the only way for another Genshin clone to truly compete with Genshin, well, we're not gonna know that until we finally get our hands on it. Like, for example, Project Mugen looks promising, but we gotta take a look at it first. So no, Tarantula. There never was a Genshin killer, never will be. Not for a while. I mean, with my explanations, I mean, I should be saying that there never will be a Genshin killer. Simply because it has to be like a whole list of reasons why Genshin eventually might end up declining and eventually dies off. So technically, my answer is no. There never will be a Genshin killer. Technically, never was in the first place. They'll have to find their own niches or niches inside that whole community. Yeah, yeah. You can't just be a fucking Genshin clone. You gotta do shit your own way. Yeah. The true enemy of Genshin is Genshin itself. It's not the only enemy, but yeah, it's probably one of the bigger ones. Sure. The real WoW killer was WoW itself. Not even WoW, it's Blizzard, because Blizzard can go fuck itself. The real WoW killer is FF14. Not even, because from what I understand, even though I don't play MMOs myself, it was explained to me that FF14 isn't even really a WoW killer because they actually cater to different audiences. Like, they have very different communities. From what I understand. So it's like, yeah, FF14 is doing very well, but it's not really like stealing away WoW's players. But I don't know. I'm not an MMO guy, so I might just be talking out of my ass. Did you get the weapon? No, not yet. I've been sitting here just killing time, just yapping about gacha. So much for me saying that I will only stream for like an hour today. Anyways, let's continue to suffer on Weapon Banner. Gotta pray for an early 5-star. Hey, and we got one. Let's see if this is a bow, though. We gotta see if it's a bow. We already established that there is no Genshin killer. How about its booster? Like a Genshin booster? Genshin became more popular than... Genshin became more popular. It eclipses other game genres. Here's the thing. The most that Genshin has done is that Genshin Impact was the gacha game that truly pushed gacha as a genre into mainstream gaming. Without Genshin Impact, or at least at the time anyway, if Genshin Impact had not released, people would mainstream gamers wouldn't really know what gacha games were, because gacha games even back then, or gacha games back then prior to Genshin releasing, they were like a very niche like genre where like you basically had to be a weeb to play them, because like normally people wouldn't really know what gacha games were unless you were just like a fucking terminally online fucking weeb, right? Or maybe you were like a such a big fan of like these particular IPs where like you just kind of you heard about these so-called gotcha games, right? FGO, for example. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a boost. If nothing else, it boosted the gotcha genre, but just not Genshin itself. Not to mention, Genshin is a huge outlier in the gacha game market because it has done what no other gacha game has ever been able to do in the history of gachas, at least out here in the West, and that is to capture the normie audience. Like Genshin has normies playing it. You don't see that with just the vast majority of games out there. You just don't. Like I've mentioned this example earlier in a previous stream, but like go to any fucking random anime convention and see how many fucking see the sheer number of motherfucking Genshin cosplayers there are in any given anime con. Like if that doesn't demonstrate to you how fucking normie coded Genshin is at this point, well, I don't know what else will. Genshin has many players who are either straight casual or just straight up normie. And these are the kinds of people, these are the kinds of players who either don't play games either just in general, or like Genshin is the only gacha game that they play. Or like that in like, Star Rail maybe. And maybe Z3 coming up in like 2 weeks. So I don't know if it's accurate to say that Genshin like boosted the gacha game genre above other genres. Like mainstream gamers know about gacha games now, but like or like gacha as a genre, I suppose. But most of them aren't suddenly gonna start playing motherfucking Genshin Impact or Star Honkai Star Rail or whatever. Mainly because out here in the West, there's still a big stigma that, oh yeah, gacha games are those fucking stupid ass anime weeb games where people waste tons of money, hundreds or even thousands of dollars just to roll for pixels, big fat titty pixels or whatever, right? And like, oh yeah, gacha games, huh? Yeah, whatever. Gacha games aren't skill based, which to be fair, they're not really skill based. They're not really skill based, yeah. Like, I don't know how much you can argue a game is skill-based when they have microtransactions that make your characters a lot stronger compared to if you didn't roll for extra copies of them. So yeah, they're not wrong on that part. Or I have some VTubers up in the background on my second PC, so you might hear Pippa's voice bleeding into my mic because I have her on speaker. Thank you, Senpai, for your insight. It's not really because I'm smart. I would argue I'm not smart at all. If nothing else, I'm just autistic. I don't know if I'm actually clinically autistic, though. I just, For a dude who plays 10 gacha games, yeah, that motherfucker like that's probably autistic in some way. No, I've been playing gacha games for 7 years. And I play 10 or 11 of them at the same time. No, this is just what I've learned over the years. It's not because I'm smart or anything. It's just when you play gachas for this long and you play this many gachas for this long, no, you just tend to learn stuff. Like you tend to learn how gacha games operate, like how they are. Not because you're smart or anything. You just scroll through your feed and see so many of them posting their polls and making Genshin food and things like that. Yeah, man, Genshin is so fucking normie coded. I'm not, and also I'm not trying to say that as if it's a bad thing. I think that even if I think that if Genshin wasn't the whole, like, you know, oh, if Genshin didn't blow up the way it did, I think that eventually we would have gotten another gacha game that would have done what Genshin did. I think it was just I think it would have been an inevitability. It's just that Genshin just had the perfect storm of circumstances surrounding it that contributed to why it popped off so fucking hard. And so because of that initial, like, that fucking nuclear explosion of success that it had back in 2020, right? It's basically secured its own longevity for many years to come. Yeah. People are fucking loyal to it, man. We're gacha players. We will continue to make bad decisions, yes sir. Including this one that I'm about to make right now. Hey, it's actually her bow. Holy fucking shit. Ask and ye shall believe. And it was a second weapon too. Wow. Thanks, MiHoYo, for saving me money. Also, yeah. I mean, if you want to go into the details of all the individual reasons why Genshin popped off so hard, yeah, COVID was one of them for sure. Because back when COVID came out, it was what, October/November 2020. That was more or less the height of Western quarantine, right? Back when Americans still believed in a thing called quarantine. Because nowadays we sure as hell don't. Or at least your average American sure as fuck doesn't want to quarantine anymore. But back then we still did. So yeah, everybody was in lockdown, including the normies. What else? The Western video game industry just wasn't doing very hot, right? Like, it was basically like you know, AAA studios were fucking getting shit on, rightfully so, deservedly so, for like shitty ass AAA games that they were putting out. So like there was this whole fucking like this preconception that, you know, oh yeah, like Western AAA games are just trash because the publishers and student developers are ass, right? It's like, you know, here comes this new game that's made by a Chinese company, and oh my god, you know, it seems pretty well made. You know, it looks cool, it looks really nice, and it plays very well, and it's got cute characters, right? Cute or handsome characters, depending on which way you swing. Holy shit, it's a good game! Wow, who fucking knew people just want to play a good fucking game? So that was certainly one of the reasons, maybe one of the more minor reasons, but still a reason nonetheless. What was the other big reason? Oh yeah, fucking Genshin pushed its marketing so fucking hard, man. Like, they sponsored everyone. Like, they sponsored YouTubers, streamers, influencers. They sponsored anybody they could get that. It literally, if anybody wanted to do a Genshin sponsorship, at the time, Yo was like, okay, sure. Alright, you're sponsored. Go stream Genshin for us. Like, I was seeing streamers who literally never touched gacha games before, fucking playing Genshin Impact back in 2020. Everyone was streaming Genshin, man. Like, MiHoYo fucking knew that in order to really succeed overseas, they had to go out there and really fucking pitch themselves. You know, fucking put ads literally everywhere. You know, in the middle of fucking, you know, downtown metropolises. I'm pretty sure, I would be very surprised if they didn't fucking buy out a time slot in like Times Square or some shit. You know, have ads up on skyscrapers in downtown LA or some shit. You would say more normies play it than gamers? Perhaps. Wouldn't be surprised. But for Genshin, it's both normies. Yeah, exactly. Genshin is almost unique. Actually, I would argue. I'd go so far as say that it's unique in the fact that it's the only gacha game with a true normie following. Because Star Rail doesn't really have a lot of normies playing it. Neither does Wuthering Waves. Star Rail and Wuthering Waves are played by people who either also play Genshin or used to play Genshin but not anymore. They're played mostly by people who first got introduced to gacha games as a genre thanks to Genshin Impact, and they switched over to, Star Rail or now Wuthering Waves after they realized Genshin wasn't really for them. Or maybe they do still play Genshin, who knows. Some of them still do, I'm assuming. Yeah. Did I pre-farm some Zigguin? Actually, I did. I actually did, yes. Surprisingly so. Did you see the new Summer Girls on Blue Archive JP? Yes, I did. And yes, Swimsuit Kana is fucking amazing. Holy fucking shit. You got into Star Rail because of me when you initially weren't planning to? I'm so fucking sorry. I apologize. Oh, looks like I need more of the, I gotta go farm more of these things, so. Let's see if I can level her weapon. Probably not too much. Three Houses got popular because of the stories and characters, not because of the not because of the pandemic. Everything like digital got enjoyed like some boost to like viewership or like popularity back during the height of COVID or during the height of pandemic. Like I don't think anybody can deny that. It's just that I think what you should argue is that there were absolutely some things, like some like games or whatever, that got way more popular than others. I think that's what you can argue safely, because yeah, that's reasonable. Can I claim that I'm the king of gacha addicts, or are there worse than me? In terms of, like, amount of money spent, sure, absolutely there are people worse than me, right? For example, Tectone claimed at one point years ago that he already dropped, like, 500 grand. The most I've ever dropped is, like, maybe 100 grand. Maybe. So, in terms of, like, raw, like, money, just raw dosh that I've tossed at gacha games, or I've burnt for the sake of gacha games, no, technically I'm not. But in terms of, like, just playing them and just having the sheer experience, no, I can't think of another, at least not another streamer or content creator who knows gacha games more than me. Like, I'm sure there's, like, just a regular gacha player out there somewhere in, like, China or Japan or some shit, who probably is crazier than me. Who's been playing gacha games for longer and mains even more gacha games than I do. I'm sure there's got to be somebody like that. World's a big place. I mean, China's got fucking 1.2 or 1.3 billion people there. Surely there must be some autistic motherfucker like me who does what I do, but even worse. But as far as, like, say, Western streamers or content creators go, no. I highly doubt anybody is as big of a fucking gacha addict as I am. The closest content creator I would say who kind of gets to comes on my level or kind of gets near my level is Fobmaster. Because technically Fobmaster, I think I'm aware he's been playing gacha games for longer than I have. Technically, I think he started a year before I did when he first got into gacha games. But he doesn't main as many gacha games as I do. Like I'm sure he's played a lot of different gacha games, but he has never really stuck with most of them. Like the only ones he really sticks with are, surprise, surprise, the popular ones. aka the Hoyoverse games and Wuthering Waves. Because I wonder fucking why. It's because they're popular. So of course he's gonna stick with them. But then again, he's not the only one that I'd criticize. You know, I'd criticize him of doing that. It's literally every content creator, literally every fucking gacha content creator under the sun. Because imagine trying to be a gacha content creator who can make money and like support themselves fully by being a gacha content creator without covering one of the the big gacha games. But yeah, no. I'm probably, in terms of just sheer gacha degeneracy, no. I don't know if anybody ever really comes close to me. Like, I know I said Fobmaster is the closest one, but even then, like, I don't know how many gacha games he really mains these days. I can't imagine it's too many. I can't imagine it's too many. Again, he clearly mains Genshin, Star Rail, and Wuwa. But okay, how many else does he main then? Maybe one or two more? I don't know. I've seen him play other gacha games on stream, to be fair. When I checked in on his stream somewhat recently in the past couple of weeks. But, like, does he keep up with all of them? Because I'm assuming the answer is no. No, bless oblige. Like, I've always been on the lookout for, like, EN Uma Musume news. Not for myself, because I don't plan on playing it, but because I have a couple of IRL friends who've been waiting for this game to come out. Because their family is from, like, the Northeast or whatever, and their family has been traditionally big on like, traditional horse racing. So, I suppose in their own weeb way, they want to uphold their family tradition by getting into an anime horse girl game. But yeah, they've been looking forward to it for a while. So I'm happy for them at least. But I don't plan on playing it, or I don't plan on picking it up. You only watch Fob and me, and rest of the rest of the gacha CCs are normies. To you, even Techno and Lucari. Lucari is definitely more normie. Yeah, Lucari is way too fucking. How do I describe him? Lucari is way too skill coded for me to consider him a true gacha content creator. He cares about PvP and skill way too much. He's not playing gachas for the right reason. That's why he's basically dropped all of the gacha games except for like maybe Wuthering Waves and like the occasional Epic 7, right? Like the main reason why he still sticks with Epic 7, or he hasn't played Epic 7 PvP in a while, but I'm sure he'll go back to it eventually. He'll relapse, I'm sure of it. But reason why is because Epic 7 actually has a serious PvP, even if it's bullshit. Like, Lucari is way too PvP or, like, skill-coded to really appreciate gacha games for what they truly are. But I would argue Lucari isn't really quite normie. He and I actually have a lot of the same views on gacha games, more so than you would imagine, to be honest. So actually, I'm not sure if I would want to call Lucari normie as far as like gacha content creators go. Because honestly, he has more gacha experience than most other gacha content creators, to be honest with you. So I'm actually hesitant to call him normie, but that's just me. Now that I have a stable job, any plans on eventually jumping into Limbus? I mean, yeah, I have a stable job now. I mean, knock on wood that it stays stable. Where's wood? Here it is. But I don't have the time, man. I can barely keep up with the fucking 10 gacha games that I'm playing right now. So, like, if I want to pick up another gacha game, it's got to be one where I've already said I had my eyes on trying out in the past. So, no. I would like to try out Limbus, but I can't main it. That was quick. Yeah, I know, right? Well, I guess my Genshin weapon luck strikes again. Did you hear about the new Madoka game? Yes, I did. I heard that JP JP Magia Record is now shutting down too, because the EN server shut down a couple years ago, and then now JP is now apparently. But like the sequel is supposed to come out called Exedra or some shit. Yeah. From what I heard, apparently players' Magia Record accounts will not transfer over to the new Exedra game, which is fucking shitty. Like, I guess maybe some things will, but not everything. I don't know the exact details. But, like, yeah, that shit is fucking, it's some fucking bullshit. Like, I fucking pray to God that, whoever's in charge of, Magia Record, makes sure to, like, set up, like, an offline server, so at the very least, Magia Record players can, access their old accounts whenever they want, just for old time's sake. But if there is no offline server, then yeah, whoever's in charge of Magia Record, JP, can go fuck themselves. Who do I want to see for second part of BA Summer Event? Good question, I don't know. Anybody with fat fucking tits. I'll be okay. I was gonna say Tsubaki, but she already got a tour guide alt. So she's not gonna get one anytime soon. Unless Nat Games decides to pull a fucking Haruna again, but I doubt that. Magia Record offline, yeah. But I don't know how likely that is. Yeah, anybody with huge tits. That's fine. Now, I was gonna say Wakamo. But both my favorite characters in Blue Archive actually already have swimsuit alts. It's kind of funny. So honestly, now that I already have those two, I don't really care who else shows up. Just anybody with huge tits. That'll be good. Pandemic is the main reason why Genshin got popular, and one of several. It's not the reason, though. Yeah, I already explained those other main reasons before. One of the main reasons, yes, but not the main. Worst thing that can happen to a gamer is the server shuts down and you can't play it anymore after spending hours and millions into the game. Well, I mean, speak for yourself. I'm sure most people will feel that way. For me personally, I don't really mind too much. Like, obviously, yes, when a gacha game shuts down, or a game that I play and I put a lot of money into shuts down, yes, it sucks, obviously. But personally, I don't let that shit bother me too much because, at the end of the day, the money you spend on a stupid fucking video game is money you're probably never going to get back anyway. I guess for gacha games is a little bit different because technically speaking, you can do a full refund for all the money you spent on a mobile game, like a phone game, because you can go through, for example, Apple support or like Google Pay support or whatever, and like if you finagle shit, you can actually refund all the money you spent on like a gacha game or whatever. But if you know, as soon as like a gacha dev finds out about it, they're gonna fucking ban your account. But like that is possible, as far as I understand. But barring that, I mean, hey, it's already happened to me once or twice. So, you know, like Genshin can shut down tomorrow. I'll be like, okay, well that sucks. But I mean, hey, at least I had my fun with Genshin Impact, and I'll just move on. If nothing else, I'll just be relieved that I no longer have to waste money on Genshin Impact ever again. That's nice, at least. Summer Kaho would send you. I would agree with you on that one, yes. Kaho has fat fucking tits and she's a fox girl, I think, so yeah. I'm with you on that one, surprisingly. Who's the best gacha... Best game? You mean general? Like, just in general across all games? Or are you talking specifically about gacha? Because I don't really play enough, like, normal games to really say who the best overall game dev is. But gacha games, I can tell you. That answer is very easy. least in my opinion.
決闘は意志の戦いであり、剣は決闘者の心だ。心がひるんでいると、いくら剣を振ろうとも、まるで鞘に収まったままかのように。
You think she has some nice cake too? She does. I'm pretty sure she canonically has some pretty thick thighs. So hopefully she's got a nice cake back there too. I mean, though in Wuthering Waves, Taochi, I think that's her name, right? Or is it Danjin? No, it's her name is Taochi, I think. The pink-haired girl with the huge fucking tits and the thick thighs. Taochi unfortunately shows that you can be a character with thick thighs but a flat fucking ass. So hopefully Tsubaki isn't really like that, but Clorin is so gorgeous. For some reason, this might just be my Coomer brain talking, but the fact that Clorin's tits are very specifically outlined in like a white dress shirt, when the rest of her outfit is like dark colored with like dark purple, blue, and black. For some reason, this is very fucking erotic to me. Again, maybe I'm just way too fucking Coomer brain. Oh, and it's very nice that it's very nice that her white dress shirt, like if you peek underneath her ribbon or whatever, I don't know what the official name for that is. But it's very nice that the game lets you peek in through her button-up shirt, so you can kind of see her chest at the very center there. But yes, Clorind is omega fucking hot. Chiori knew what she was doing. Oh, did Chiori canonically design Chiori's not Chiori, Clorind's outfit? That's actually kind of neat. I guess it makes sense, though, because, you know, Fontaine character. Every character design is intended. Yeah, it's Mihoyo, yeah. Mihoyo has many criticisms. You can criticize Mihoyo about many things, but usually character design is not one of them. So yes, it's absolutely intentional, yeah. Same design choice as with Natasha, maybe? Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. Let's try gacha game dev. Oh, then in that case, Hypergriff. They're the developers who are in charge of a gacha game called Arknights. And I argue, I'm on record for saying Arknights is the single best gacha game that you can play right now. Because it offers a complete it offers the most complete content package that you'll find out of any gacha game out there. So by correlation, the devs for that game are the best ones that I know. Sometimes Mihoyo designs are a bit too busy on the accessories. Well, clearly not busy enough to where basically all of Genshin's characters are instantly recognizable. Like, even the fucking 4 stars in this game are immediately recognizable. Everybody knows who Fischl is. Everybody knows who, like, for example, Ningguang is. Here's a question. Does Hoyo commend artists who design the characters the same way they credit VAs? Because now you think about it, you have no idea who the character designers are for Hoyo and which characters. I know that, who was it for again? For Tignari. Tignari was designed by, Paco from FGO. But yeah, other than him, like, I don't know who all the other artists who've designed all the other characters in the game. Like, I legit do not know. And yeah, Mihoyo doesn't really, like, celebrate that sort of, celebrate that staff as much as they do their VAs. For whatever weird reason. They go really ham on the accessories. I mean, sure, yeah, but it's clearly, like I said earlier, clearly it's not enough to stop them from being like immediately recognizable characters, though. So like that doesn't really bother me. It's crazy. Art and design team is one of the biggest selling points of Hoyo games. I mean, part of the reason why is because everybody has like roughly the same I think it's the same artist who does like the official art for everybody. Like the character designs themselves are done by like other artists, sure, but like then everybody, all the characters in Genshin get homogenized into the same art style. So that way Genshin has a consistent art style that doesn't ever change. Which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, that means that we never really know, we end up not really knowing who like the original character designers were. Like maybe outside the ones that you might have happened to learn about by chance. Which is how I learned how Paco was Tignari's designer. But yeah, that's kind of weird. MiHoYo keeps their character designers top secret. Well, clearly, if that's the case, then they would have done something about Paco saying that he was the character designer for Tignari. I feel like MiHoYo just doesn't really mention them at all. Like, if the character designers themselves want to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I designed so and so character," then yeah, they can do it if they want to. But you know, like. One theory I have is that maybe it's because either MiHoYo or the artists themselves don't want to like make their identities public because, you know, we all know how the fucking Hoyoverse community is, where they just go after fucking innocent people on the internet just because they don't like something. So maybe for their own safety on the internet, maybe for their own sake, they just don't. Maybe they request not to be you know, shown or like revealed online or whatever. I don't know. But if that's the case, then why do they continue, you know, showing off who the VAs are, right? That wouldn't make sense. It seemed to be a big team behind the designs of each character. Well, yeah, that would explain why. Hoyoverse has such great character designs. Yeah, because they understand that a gacha game's biggest selling point is the characters. If the characters don't sell, what the fuck is the point of even trying to make a gacha game in the first place? What's the thing that I hate the most from my experience playing gacha games? The community, the games themselves. Probably the fact that they're so fucking expensive. Yeah. Whoever came up with the whole gacha idea and thought that charging people $80 to $100 for a single pack that only gets you like fucking 4 or 5 multi-rolls, needs to fucking low-tier god themselves immediately. Fuck those people. Or fuck that person. Why the fuck are gacha games so fucking expensive? Fuck those people, man. Yeah, that's the single biggest thing I hate. I can deal with the community. I can deal with, like, shitty devs or whatever. And I can deal with the games themselves, even if they're pretty hard. But, bro... why the fuck do you have to go after my goddamn fucking wallet? Did I triple crown Clorin? Oh, how did you know? Why, yes. Yes, I did. How did you know? Yeah, gacha games are just fucking expensive, man. Oh, I suppose the other big reasons, the other big thing that I hate gacha games for is the fact that I suppose there would be two, but they're kind of the same reason. Kind of, they're related at least. But in gacha games, most gacha games anyway. There are some exceptions out there, of course. Like maybe Azure Lanes. I think Limbus Company is an exception, but I hate the fact that in gacha games, there's no way for you as a free-to-play to obtain all the content in the game. In this case, when I say content, I mean, extra characters and weapons or gear, in case that's a big focus too. Like, coming from a background of just like regular games, right? Where it's like, oh, games are skill based, or like as long as you grind enough, you can get everything you want in the game, blah, blah, blah. So like going from regular games, quote unquote regular games, to gacha games, and then realizing, well, wait a minute, you can't get all the playable characters in this game unless you start fucking spending money, and you can't just play these sorts of games for as long as you want because there's this thing called a fucking stamina system that gates you from fucking playing the game itself. Who the fuck thought these were good ideas? Fuck you. You like her hat and her rack? Yep, two of the best things about it for sure. Still keeping my other 9? Yeah, matter of fact, as soon as I get off, I gotta go deal with my other nine gacha games. And all the dailies I gotta do in those games. And I bitch about this, but I'm still... I bitch about the money part of gacha games, but I'm still lucky enough to be in a position where spending money on gacha games is still an option, right? It's painful. I shouldn't be doing it, but I still can. And, I think I'll still be okay. But, like, there are plenty of more unfortunate people out there in various parts of the world that are less fortunate than me, and they don't have a fucking prayer in hell of spending any money on gacha games because that shit is way too fucking expensive. So why should they be punished for just wanting to play a game and just wanting to, see everything that the game has to offer? Why the fuck do people think that locking content behind gacha paywalls is a good thing? Other than, of course, the obvious, because we make more money. They stopped doing designs the devs liked and focused on designs they know the players are gonna like. Take. I think that developers should design characters that they want to design. It's their fucking game, after all. Especially a fucking game like MiHoYo, or a studio like MiHoYo. Actually, they're fucking big enough to get away with whatever the fuck they want. The fuck? Why are MiHoYo devs fucking scared of what the public thinks about their characters? What? People are gonna pay for them nonetheless. What the fuck? They're Chinese and they don't want to piss off their Chinese player base, so yeah. Understandable, I suppose. But still an L take. You cut down your gachas to just Wuwa and Star Rail to drain and keep up with so many. Yeah, exactly. Which is why you don't find most people fucking maining double-digit gacha games. Yeah. Because trying to keep up with all of them is just like, why? For most people, they don't want to spend all the time fucking playing nothing but gacha games. Yeah, so I don't blame you. Future insight on gacha games. Gacha games will continue to evolve. Like, unfortunately, these days the trend is basically to like follow and copy whatever the fuck Genshin is doing, especially its gacha system. Holy fucking shit! But eventually, gacha games will. The more gacha games come out, the more they'll develop and evolve. For example, hey, you can just look at Wuthering Waves, for example, right? Wuthering Waves, it's basically got a Genshin gacha style, but the weapon banner is basically the best weapon banner you'll ever see. Besides there not being a weapon banner at all in the first place, right? Because we went from Genshin having a shitty ass, like technically a triple rate up weapon banner, to Star Rail, where there's only one 5-star limited light cone on Raid Up, and it's a 75-25, which is significantly better than whatever the fuck you gotta deal with in Genshin. To now we got Wuthering Waves, which is, oh no, if you roll Weapon Banner and you get a 5-star, it's guaranteed to be the limited weight, the Raid Up. So you don't have to worry about wasting more money on a spook instead. So you already see gacha games evolving. They're just evolving very slowly. But the more time you give gacha games and the more gacha games come out, the more they'll evolve slowly but surely. My hope for gacha games for like the far future is that eventually it'll become an industry standard where future gacha games allow their players to get a copy of every character in their games just by them playing every day. Eventually, I want gacha games to reach that point where they reward their players for being consistent and playing their games every day, day in and day out. You know, do all your dailies, you do all your weeklies, your monthlies if they exist, blah blah blah, right? And you are rewarded if you are committed to a gacha game, right? You do all that shit. You clear all your dailies, you do all your events, play the game every day, right? Just a couple hours, maybe like 1 or 2 hours every day, but you know, some sort of like consistency to it. I believe that gacha games should reward you by giving you a copy of every character in the game. Now, if you want to go for like weapons or more copies of characters, then you know you're on your own, right? Good luck, right? But at least a single copy of every character, that should be like a gacha industry standard. Eventually, not now, obviously. But that's eventually where I want to see gacha games go. Ideally, will they actually go down that path? I don't know. They might not. Who knows? Other than like the long-term vision I have for gacha games, the short-term vision is basically Genshin clones, Genshin clones, Genshin clones. And, you know, we pray that we get a Genshin clone that's actually, that's, you know, also worth playing, just like Wuwa. You feel that's feasible in a game like Ether Gazer, but people are normally even free to play? Should would roll for weapons or character dupes instead of collection? I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with rolling for wherever you want. It's a gacha game after all. You just hope that there's an offline mode for Genshin in the future. Technically, they exist. They're called private servers. They already exist. And yeah, that's private servers are exactly what Sabab was talking about. Because on private servers, you can roll for whoever you want. So technically speaking, if you have an account on a private Genshin server, you can have whoever you want, whatever you want. You mean when it shuts down? Yeah, when the game stops being supported, then yeah. Why not go for a why not implement you know, offline servers, right? But what do you think about mods that change the visuals of games like Genshin? I have no problem with them. If you want to play Genshin with mods, sure, be my guest. As long as they're only cosmetic. If you mod the game so that you just one shot everything in Abyss, with like a single normal attack, then yeah, obviously there's something wrong with that. But as long as it's just visuals, yeah, whatever, knock yourself out. Mods are what mods are what either keep old players playing or they they give a good reason for older players who stop playing Genshin to come back. Mods only ever serve to extend the lifespan of a game, whether it's gacha or just a normal game. You know, because once you've played a game for long enough where, okay, you kind of get the idea of what this game's about, right? And you're kind of getting, you know, a little bit burnt out on what the game's usually like. Hey, install a mod that changes the way the game looks, right? In Genshin's case, give a couple of your characters some modded skins or whatever, and that'll perk your interest up. That'll perk your interest right back up, man. Guarantee you. Also, MiHoYo is fucking lazy about putting out skins on a regular basis. So yeah, so like our next best option is people modding in skins, or like modding in like their own quality of life buffs, for example. Whatever, whichever it is, as long as it doesn't influence anything gameplay related, then yeah, I'm fine with it. Do you think Chlorine's worth it if you already have Raiden? Probably not, but then again, if you have Chlorine, you can run one really strong Electro DPS on both sides of Abyss. Like, Chlorine is really strong for what it's worth. I wouldn't blame you for going for a copy of her. Is the banner still up? Chlorine's banner? No. It's switched over to Zigwin already. Who was I rolling for? Hey, welcome to the stream, lol, Ultraviolet. I was rolling for Zigwind, the Hydro Archer lolly. This girl. I got very lucky with the rolls today. I got both of them right away, pretty much. You're surprised FGO still lasted for as long as it did? IP strength. IP strength, and the developers still support it pretty well, and it makes a shit ton of money still. So you know, all they gotta do is put out one good banner, and they're back on top of the Google Play Store charts, or the iOS charts over in Japan. So you've never really modded any gachas, but you love modding fighting games. You play those more than anything. I see. Gotcha. Yeah. You have to be careful with modding gacha games though, because most gacha devs don't like it when you mod their games. In the case of MiHoYo, if you want to mod Genshin, if you want to play Genshin with mods, it's actually very easy to learn how to install mods. It's just that you know, don't stream with mods on, or if you really want to, make sure to make absolutely fucking sure to censor your UID, so that way somebody from MiHoYo can't just come along and be like, oh, this person's using mods, I wonder what their UID is. Because if they know what your UID is, then yeah, they know exactly which account to ban. So yeah. If only they wouldn't be afraid from success and actually implement sexy skins like Azure. Well, we know that's never going to happen because Genshin is way too normie coded. Like, the moment they put in like a full-on fucking bikini, like an Azure Lane style bikini, you know for a fact that Twitter is going to explode. And not in a good way either. I mean, since when is Twitter ever exploding a good thing? Now that I think about it. What pisses you off after all these years is that FGO-NA is still region locked for some countries? Yeah, unfortunately. Though, to be fair, it could have something to do with like those countries' own like laws about gacha games or whatever. Sometimes it's not even NAFGO's fault itself. Sometimes it's just whatever. It's the region. It's the fault of the region that you're from, because maybe those regions won't have FGO on their app stores or whatever. But Twitter exploding over the Ratsu drama was technically good. Oh, you're talking about Atsu, right. Yeah, he fucking his content creation career is basically fucking over now. Your main issue with building with Genshin is that you hate building characters. I guess I can understand if you've never played any of the gacha game before, then yeah, leveling characters is fucking trash in Genshin. But I mean, you know, I've been playing FGO for like 3 or 4 years leading up to Genshin, so I'm used to that shit. Yeah, Belgium's one of those kinds of countries, for example. What's your take on the Asian guy high school drama? I think this is the last thing I'll talk about, and I gotta get off. Or I've been streaming for like over 2 hours now. Hate that you can't just buy the field material. Yeah, kind of like what Wuwa does, because I know Wuwa lets you buy some of the materials just straight up with like credits. Yeah, it'd be nice if Genshin did that. I mean, technically Genshin does for some items, but not all of them for sure. Anyways, back to the Atsu fucking drama shit. I don't know exactly what happened. All I saw was that he was getting his ass roasted on Twitter for like the last time, somewhat recently, like I think a couple weeks ago, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure exactly what he did. All I know is that Tectone called him like manipulative and an asshole, but like that doesn't really like narrow it down. I'm assuming Atsu must have like tried bullying people online or some shit. I don't know. I don't know the full details. I don't know the whole story. Anybody got the short version? I mean, I'd like that too. I don't really know. Or I don't really know what happened. Just check out Mujin's latest video. Of course Mujin would have a video on that. Hey Machi unfortunately Machi, I'm gonna be getting up pretty soon because I wasn't playing on stream for too long today anyway. I just wanted to roll for the Melusine, Lolly, and Genshin and her weapon, and that's it. Atsu is cooked. It seemed like it. Yeah. It seemed like he couldn't take the heat, and now he's just backing away from the internet altogether. Does a human mask come off? I don't know. I don't know if she has an animation for that. I've never seen her go back to revert to her Melusine form, I don't think. Atsu is supposedly like 55. I don't know if he's that old. He doesn't fucking act like a fucking 55-year-old, unless you mistyped that. Did you hear Melusine? Where? Oh, in Genshin, it's funny because in Genshin, there's like a race of beings in Fontaine. They're called Melusines. This girl is one of them. She's just in her human form right now. Nah, he's just British. the accursed British debuff. The British debuff. Not really, mask is just a joke. Oh, okay. But I mean, I do kind of find it weird that Zigwind is a Melusine, but she looks like a human. I kind of assumed she could just revert to a more appropriate, like, Melusine form. Does FGO need to step their game up? Or just give the player another big booba waifu banner? They need to step their game up. Yeah. At their current rate of content progression, FGO will slowly be forgotten outside of Japan to the point where no one will no one's really left playing the NA server. Not like not a substantial number of people anyway. It'll all just be JP, because the JP server is gonna continue chugging along just fine. Because again, all they need to do is put out another fucking Draco rerun. Oh, hey look, guys, where did all these billions of dollars suddenly come from? So in Japan itself, FGO is fine. It's outside of Japan that FGO will probably just kind of slowly fade away into obscurity. Thoughts on Nikke? You dropped it because dailies are too tedious, too much loading and menus to go through. That is true. That is a valid criticism. Yeah, there's a lot of menus to go through, and yeah, like there's a whole bunch of chores you gotta do every day. Yeah, if you don't like that sort of if you don't like that, then yeah, I don't blame you for dropping Nikke. It's just kind of like that. I don't mind it personally. But yeah, next, yeah. Ideally, they should do both. TLDR, Atsu told all his acquaintances not to trust Brax off a false hunch, thus excluding him from most Genshin CC circles and possible Genshin sponsorships. Ooh, yeah. Not our boy Brax. He tried doing that shit to Tectone and Brax, okay, and then it ended up blowing up in his face or something. The Atsu thing was connected to some drama earlier this year. Yeah, I did see the initial drama between those two at the start of the year, yeah. Yeah, and the whole, I did hear about the whole, like, his wife cheating on him thing. Do you think they'll make FGO 2.0? No. They can barely manage FGO 1.0 on their own right now. What makes you think they're going to be able to support an FGO 2.0? I mean, it would be amazing getting like a Genshin clone FGO game, but I highly doubt they're going to work on that anytime soon. And yeah, Majijoten, yeah, we heard that Uma Musume is going to get an English server. Who's the VA for this character? Ishikawa Yui. So yeah, she should sound familiar. Thoughts on BD2? I've heard about the game. How it's a fucking Coomer game. So that's cool. I don't know if I'll play it myself though. You think you're gonna use FGRK as a baseline for another game? If they even support another game. Los Angeles cannot support another game. They're too small. Sony is fucking sucking up all the money they're making for themselves, and they're barely leaving Los Angeles with anything to keep the game running. Like, why do you think they even ended support for FGRK in the first place? Trying to find another gacha game to sell your soul to. You want it to be easy and also have Coomer bait. Out of the gacha games that I play, the closest one to that would probably be Nikke. Yeah. Yeah. Nikke is probably what you're looking for. But then again, you don't... I guess technically the dailies are, quote, easy, but there are a lot of it. So, like, you might not enjoy, like, the fucking daily fucking gacha grind, I guess, but... I suppose if the skin, maybe if the skins are good enough, maybe you'll deal with them. I don't know. What do you think about Azure Premilia? I think it has potential, yeah. Now, honestly, if out of all the gacha, out of all the Genshin clones, Azure Premilia is probably the one that poses the biggest threat to Genshin itself. It's still not going to be a Genshin killer per se, but it threatens Genshin's. It threatens Genshin the most because Azure Familiar actually has shit that casuals would really love in terms of gameplay. You know, like the whole, obviously exploration is one of them, but also it features like fucking farming. Like what fucking casual or what fucking normie gamer doesn't like farming, you know? Oh, also as Pokemon, it has its own, you know, Pokemon theme to it, like the whole Pokemon shit to it. So I was like, holy fuck. They're really trying to go after the normies, huh? So yeah, I think it has a lot of potential actually, but at this point, it's got to be about the execution. Apparently, yeah, I heard about that. I think my Twitch chat told me about Hoya working on a fucking Animal Crossing style gacha. Can't avoid thinking about Last Origin. Yeah, the fucking Korean Coomer game. I actually kind of wonder how hard the gameplay of Last Origin is, because like I guess I could recommend that to you, Tarantula. Like, look up a gacha game called Last Origin. I think it's only available in Korea or something. You don't trust Korean companies? You shouldn't trust most of them, yeah. If you ever see the words Nexon or Netmarble or like other like really egregiously shitty Korean companies, yeah. Either run away immediately or approach with extreme caution. Will I play Elden Ring? No. I don't have the time. Here, TOF has like tons of power creep? Yeah, apparently so. Is TOF a failed game? Outside of China, more or less. Its main problem is that it tried to reach out to the Genshin audience, even though it's not really a gacha. It does have a gacha, I think, but it's played more like an MMO. You're back. What'd you miss? Not much. Speaking of being back, I gotta get out. I gotta get out of here myself too. Cause I gotta go grab some dinner and go clear up my other gacha games. There's WoWo 1.0. Yeah, I'm going right now. 420. Does WoWo 1.1 have a live stream? That's a good question, actually. I'm not even sure if I can even fucking watch it, thanks to my my job, but. But yeah, I gotta get out of here, so. Yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out and just us sitting here just shooting the shit talking about gacha games. So, yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out so far today. Let me go look up somebody to raid. I'm not even sure if who the fuck is even streaming right now. Yeah. Does anybody give a shit about Zigwin coming out? No. I assume the answer is no. Most people are still probably playing like Star Rail or like WoW or something. Excuse me. I'll send you guys over to Mrs. Slice. Go hang out with him. He's doing the Star Rail event right now. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll catch you guys next time, whenever next time it is that I stream. So, peace.